All right. Let's try it again. One more time. This is the one. What is up, everybody? My name is Andrew, and I have a serious question for you. Have you ever had to keep your balance on something? Maybe it was a balance beam or a bike or a log over a stream. Balancing can be tough. You can't lean too far one way or the other without falling. Life can feel the same way sometimes. We all want to be accepted, right? We want to have friends, be liked, and feel included. But balancing the pressure of how people see us can feel overwhelming. We don't want to be too loud or too quiet, too much or not enough. And to get there, we end up creating this perfectly balanced version of ourselves. We act like who we think others want us to be, and that pressure can weigh us down. Let's imagine this is you. You have these ideas of how you want to be accepted by people. And so you start giving yourself things like, oh, don't talk too much. And it's like adding weight on yourself. But you don't want to be too quiet, so you add that weight to yourself. You say, be talented, but don't show off, right? You got to be popular, but you don't want to make people feel left out. And all of a sudden, this backpack just got really heavy, didn't it? Imagine carrying this around with you every day, trying to balance the pressure to be somebody that you're not. It can wear you out. But here's the good news. Jesus saw this in people. He saw how much pressure they were under, and he wanted to help. So let's open up our Bibles to Matthew 11, verse 28. He says this, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest." See, Jesus was talking to people who were exhausted from carrying the weight of the world. They were weighed down by pride, peer pressure, religious rules, and life's expectations, just like we are today. But Jesus offered something different. He offered us rest. Then he said something kind of strange in Matthew 11:29. He says, "Take my yoke upon you. Let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle, and you will find rest for your souls." Now at this point, we're kind of like, ew, Jesus, that's kind of gross. A yoke? I don't really want a yoke on me. But that's not what he's talking about. It's not an egg yolk. But in this case, he's talking about the yoke that holds two animals together. It's like a harness. It's a harness that would be put on a cow, two cows, so that they can pull the weight together. They can share the load of something. Jesus was saying, attach yourself to me. Let me carry the weight with you. When we do, we don't have to figure out life on our own. We don't have to live under the pressure of pride, consistently trying to prove ourselves to others. Jesus has given you an invitation to follow him, to give up the balancing act and let him lead you towards what's best for you, to choose humility over pridefulness and find rest when you do. Remember, humility means freedom from pridefulness and arrogance. There's a difference between taking pride in something and being prideful. Taking pride simply means that you value that something. Being prideful is thinking that you are better than, above, or superior to something. When you choose humility, we're choosing to be who we are authentically. We're choosing to stop trying to balance it all and instead accept the help Jesus offers to carry it with us. We're choosing to live freely and lightly, not under the pressure and acceptance of other people. But this isn't always easy. In fact, it takes a lot of courage to lay down the carefully created version of yourself and the pridefulness that tells you to protect it. It takes courage to choose to be the person that God created you to be. But I think it's something that we all can do, especially if we know we're not doing it alone. So today, I want to challenge us all to do two things. I want to challenge us to be brave and be humble. Humility means freedom from pride. It's not about thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. It's about being authentically who God created you to be without pretending or performing. And guess what? That takes courage. It takes bravery to be real, to let go of trying to control what others think of you, and to follow Jesus' example of humility. But Jesus promises us that when we do, we will find rest. So, how can we be brave and be humble right now? Here's where I want you to start. First is lay down the weight. What feels heavy in your life right now? What are you trying to balance? Start by taking that to God in prayer and asking Him to help you lay it down to find rest. And second, be brave enough to be you. Trusting Jesus means letting go of all the ways that you try to be somebody else. Be brave enough to step into the life that God created for you. Humility is a scary thing because it requires us to be real, but you don't have to do it alone. Not only do you have Jesus, but you have trusted adults, small group leaders, and friends who can support you along the way. So today, my prayer is that we would resist the pressure to be who other people want us to be, that we would let Jesus carry our burdens and give us rest, that we would choose to be brave and be humble right now as middle schoolers. Then I think we'll walk towards the full life Jesus promises us. So as you head to small groups, I want you to think about this. What's one brave thing that you can do this week to step towards humility?